The ripples of your actions travel through dimensions you cannot see, shaping realities you have yet to experience. This ancient Vedic truth, whispered in the sacred halls of Himalayan ashrams for millennia, reveals something our modern world has systematically erased from consciousness: that karma is not punishment, but precision, a cosmic accounting system far more sophisticated than anything our material science has conceived. While society teaches you that karma is a vague notion of what goes around comes around, the Vedic masters understood it as three distinct forces operating simultaneously across multiple dimensions of time, each requiring its own specific method of dissolution. This isn't mystical poetry, it's spiritual mathematics. The ancient Rishis who meditated in caves for decades didn't emerge with philosophy. They emerged with blueprints of consciousness itself, with precise technologies for manipulating the causal fabric of existence. Modern quantum physics now validates what they knew: that the observer affects the observed, that consciousness precedes matter, that time is not linear but simultaneous. You are not randomly experiencing your life. You are experiencing the precise mathematical outcome of three distinct karmic forces that you unknowingly set in motion. One operates in this lifetime, visible and immediate. One operates across lifetimes, invisible but inevitable. And one operates beyond time itself, ancestral and collective. Most spiritual seekers waste years trying to work on themselves without understanding which of these three forces they're actually confronting. They meditate to release SANCHITA KARMA, using techniques meant for Prarabdha. They attempt to heal Prarabdha wounds with methods that only address Kriyamana. It's like trying to unlock three different doors with the same key. Frustration is guaranteed. But when you understand the precise mechanism of each karmic type and apply the correct dissolution technique to each, you don't just heal your past, you architect your future. You don't just transcend karma, you become its conscious master. What the ancient Vedic scientists discovered in their laboratories of consciousness is about to become your roadmap to freedom. SANCHITA KARMA, the accumulated storehouse, the first type the Vedic scientists identified is SANCHITA KARMA, the massive reservoir of accumulated actions from all your previous lifetimes, stored in the causal body like seeds, waiting for the right conditions to sprout. Imagine a cosmic warehouse containing millions of unprocessed experiences, each one a potential future reality, encoded in the subtle dimensions of your being. The Sanskrit word sanchita literally means accumulated or piled up, and the ancient texts describe it as resembling a granary overflowing with countless grains, some sweet, some bitter, most a mixture of both. This is why certain souls are born into privilege, while others into suffering, not as punishment, but as the mathematical result of this accumulated storehouse selecting, which seeds to germinate in this particular incarnation. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad states, "You are what your deep driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny." But here's what most spiritual teachers won't tell you. SANCHITA KARMA is too vast to be worked through in a single lifetime or even 1,000 lifetimes. If you had to experience the karmic consequence of every action from every lifetime, you would be trapped in the cycle of birth and death for eternity. The ancient Rishis understood this mathematical impossibility, which is why they developed specific techniques not to work through SANCHITA KARMA, but to burn it entirely. The Bhagavad Gita reveals the secret in chapter 4, verse 37. "As a blazing fire reduces wood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge reduce all karma to ashes." This is Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge, but not intellectual knowledge. The Vedic masters speak of Atma Jnana, direct experiential realization of your true nature, as pure consciousness beyond the body-mind mechanism. When you realize through direct experience, not belief, Not philosophy, but visceral knowing that you are not the doer, that the eternal self merely witnesses actions without being touched by them. The entire accumulated storehouse loses its power. It's like realizing the monster chasing you through a nightmare isn't real. The moment you recognize you're dreaming, the nightmare dissolves. The specific practice the ancient texts prescribe is called Nididhyasana, profound meditation on the Mahavakyas, the great statements of identity. Tattvamasi, thou art that. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. This isn't repetition or affirmation. It's forensic investigation of consciousness itself until the false identification with the body-mind-ego structure collapses, and what remains is the recognition that you never accumulated karma because you never truly acted, only consciousness. Moved through a temporary vehicle. Modern neuroscience now confirms what the Vedic scientists knew, that the sense of being a separate doer is a neurological illusion created by the default mode network. When this illusion shatters through direct realization, the entire accumulated storehouse of SANCHITA KARMA combusts instantly. Like darkness disappearing when a lamp is lit. You don't work through it action by action. You transcend the entire mechanism that created it. Prarabdha karma, the destined portion. The second type is Prarabdha karma, the specific portion of your accumulated storehouse that has already been selected and set into motion for this particular lifetime. The word Prarabdha means begun or undertaken, and it represents the karmic blueprint that was determined at the moment of your birth based on your soul's evolutionary needs. Think of Sanchita as the entire arsenal of arrows and Prarabdha as the arrows that have already left the bow. They're in flight, and they will hit their target. This is the karma that manifests as your birth circumstances, your family, your body, your innate talents and challenges, the major destined encounters and events that shape your life's trajectory. The ancient Vedic astrologers mapped Prarabdha karma through the birth chart, understanding that planetary positions at birth weren't causing your fate, but revealing the karmic blueprint you chose to work with. Here's the crucial understanding that liberates seekers from victim consciousness. Prarabdha karma must be experienced. There is no technique to erase it because it's already in motion. The Vedic texts are unambiguous about this. Even a fully realized sage must experience their Prarabdha until the body falls away. When Ramana Maharshi developed cancer, students begged him to heal himself through spiritual power, but he refused, explaining that Prarabdha must run its course. But, and this is where the technology becomes powerful, while you cannot avoid experiencing Prarabdha, you can completely transform your relationship to it through the practice of Sakshi Bhava, witness consciousness. The Bhagavad Gita's teaching of Nishkama karma, desireless action, is specifically designed to metabolize Prarabdha karma without creating new karma. You perform your destined actions fully and completely, but without attachment to results, without the sense that you are the doer, maintaining witnessing awareness throughout. The metaphor the ancient teachers used is perfect. Imagine you're watching a movie in which you appear as a character experiencing suffering. You witness the character's pain, but you, the awareness watching the movie, are untouched by it. This isn't spiritual bypassing or emotional suppression. It's a radical shift in the locus of identity, from the content of experience to the consciousness that witnesses all content. The specific practice is Atma Vichara, self-inquiry meditation, as taught by Ramana Maharshi and rooted in ancient Advaita Vedanta. You continuously investigate who am I, not intellectually but experientially, until you discover that you are not the body experiencing Prarabdha, not the mind reacting to circumstances, not the emotions responding to events, but the eternal consciousness in which all of this appears and disappears like clouds in sky. Modern trauma therapy is now discovering what the Vedic scientists knew, that suffering comes not from events themselves, but from identification with the reactive self. When you learn to witness your Prarabdha karma from the space of pure awareness, you still experience what must be experienced. The arrows still hit, but you're no longer wounded by them. The witness remains eternally free, watching the play of karma without being trapped in it. You fulfill your destiny, while simultaneously transcending it, living fully in the world while recognizing you were never of it. Kriyamana karma, the karma you're creating now. The third type is Kriyamana karma, also called Agami or Vartamana karma, the karma you are creating in this very moment through your current thoughts, words, and actions. Kriyamana means being done or in the process of doing, and this is where you have maximum power and immediate control. Every choice you make right now is planting seeds that will either remain dormant in your Sanchita storehouse or sprout in future lifetimes as Prarabdha. This is the karma most spiritual teachings focus on, because it's where free will genuinely operates. You cannot change the arrows already in flight. You cannot burn the accumulated warehouse overnight without direct realization, but you can stop shooting new arrows this very second. The Vedic scientists understood that most humans operate on autopilot, unconsciously creating massive amounts of karmic debt through reactive patterns. The angry word spoken in traffic, the jealous thought toward a colleague, the fearful decision made from survival consciousness. Each of these creates a subtle energetic impression called a samskara, a groove in consciousness that makes the same reaction more likely next time, eventually hardening into a vasana, a deep-rooted tendency or habitual pattern. It's like a wagon traveling repeatedly over the same path, creating ruts that eventually become so deep, the wagon can only follow those grooves. The liberation technology here is twofold. First, impeccable consciousness in every present moment, and second, specific karmic neutralization practices. The Buddha's entire teaching of mindfulness is essentially Kriyamana karma management. If you bring complete awareness to each thought, word and deed as it arises, you create space between stimulus and response where conscious choice lives. The Vedic equivalent is dharmic action. When every action is aligned with universal law, performed from consciousness of cosmic unity rather than separate self-interest, it doesn't create binding karma. Krishna explains this in the Bhagavad Gita. When action is performed as an offering to the divine, as yajna, sacrifice, without attachment to personal gain, it doesn't bind you. But here's the profound practice most seekers miss: pratipaksha bhavana, the cultivation of opposite thoughts. When a binding karmic thought arises, anger, fear, greed, you don't suppress it or fight it, which creates more karma. You cultivate its opposite. When hatred arises towards someone, you deliberately generate loving kindness. When fear grips you, you deliberately invoke courage and trust. This isn't positive thinking. It's karmic neutralization at the moment of creation, like adding a base to an acid before it can cause damage. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali teach this as Sutra 233. Vitarka badhane pratipaksha bhavanam. When disturbed by negative thoughts, cultivate opposite thoughts. Modern neuroscience validates this. Neurons that fire together wire together, and by deliberately activating alternative neural pathways, you can rewire deeply grooved patterns. Additionally, the ancient practice of sankalpa, conscious intention setting aligned with dharma, programs your subconscious to create only karma that serves evolution. Each morning, before reactive patterns activate, you set clear intention. May all my actions today serve the highest good. May I act from consciousness, not conditioning. This single practice, done with genuine feeling and presence, can shift your karmic trajectory dramatically, because most binding karma is created unconsciously. When you bring consciousness to the present moment, observe your patterns without judgment, and redirect your energies toward dharmic action. You don't just stop creating problematic karma. You begin creating positive karma that accelerates evolution, shortens the cycle of return, and supports your ultimate liberation. The integrated practice Becoming karma's master now here, as where ancient wisdom becomes practical alchemy. Understanding that these three types of karma operate simultaneously. You need an integrated practice that addresses all three dimensions at once. The Vedic masters didn't teach compartmentalized spirituality. They understood that liberation requires working the three fronts together, like a skilled physician treating symptoms, disease, and prevention simultaneously. Your morning spiritual practice becomes the laboratory where this integration happens. Begin with sankalpa to address kriyamana karma. Set your intention for conscious dharmic action throughout the day, programming your subconscious before reactive patterns activate. Then move into atma vikara, or Nididhyasana, self-inquiry or meditation on the Mahavakyas, to address SANCHITA KARMA, repeatedly investigating, who am I? Until the false doer dissolves and the accumulated storehouse loses its grip. Finally, throughout your day, practice Sakshibhava, witness consciousness, to address Prarabdha karma, maintaining awareness that you are not the experiencer of life events, but the consciousness in which all experience appears. What makes this revolutionary is understanding that you're not fighting karma or trying to eliminate it through force. You're transforming your relationship to the entire mechanism. It's like discovering you've been inside a movie theater, believing the film is real, and slowly waking up to realize you're the awareness watching the movie, untouched by what happens on screen. The ancient Rishis called this Jivan Mukti, liberation while living. You continue to inhabit a body, you experience Prarabdha until it exhausts itself, but you're no longer bound by any of it, because the one who was bound never existed. There's only consciousness playing all the roles. Modern quantum physics is approaching this same conclusion from a different angle, that the observer and observed are not separate, that consciousness is not in the universe, but the universe appears in consciousness. When this shifts from intellectual concept to lived experience, karma doesn't disappear, but its binding power evaporates like dew in morning sun. You perform actions, but there's no you creating new karma. Experience happens, but there's no you bound by old karma. Life continues, but the dream has been recognized as dream. The practical signs that this integration is working appear as increasing synchronicity in your life. The right people, resources, and opportunities begin appearing with uncanny timing because you're no longer swimming against the karmic current, but moving with it consciously. You'll notice decreasing reactivity. Situations that once triggered intense emotion now pass through your awareness like clouds through sky. Most profoundly, you'll experience what the ancient texts call sahaja sthiti, natural abiding in your true nature, where effort dissolves and what remains is effortless presence. This isn't bypassing your humanity or becoming cold and detached. It's the opposite. Free from karmic compulsion, you can finally act from genuine love rather than need, from authentic wisdom rather than conditioning, from real power rather than fear. The Vedic scientists discovered what spiritual seekers spend lifetimes seeking, that you are not bound by karma, because you are not the one karma happens to. You are the eternal witness, the unchanging consciousness, the space in which the entire karmic play appears and disappears without ever touching what you truly are. This isn't something to believe, it's something to investigate, practice, and verify in the laboratory of your own consciousness. The three types of karma and their specific dissolution technologies are your roadmap. The journey begins not tomorrow, but in this very breath, this present moment, where your power to transcend the entire mechanism has always resided, waiting for you to recognize it.